Hello everyone, welcome to Anu's classroom. So in this video, we will be talking about Unit 4 of your MMPC 3, which is titled as Business Ethics and Corporate Social Responsibility. So what do you understand by the term ethics? What do you feel or what is your definition of ethics? I want to know in the comment section. Okay. So the term ethics actually originated from the Greek word ethos. And what is ethos? In Greek, ethos means character or custom. So ethics are a set of principles or standards of human conduct which governs the behavior of individuals or organizations. When somebody does something, we feel right like, hey, that person did not do something ethical sometimes, right? Ethics is a word which we most often use in our day-to-day conversations, right? So this unit, that is our unit 4, focuses on the significance of business ethics, that is ethics when it comes to businesses as well as corporate governance in business. We will discuss the important or you can say discuss the concept as well as benefits of corporate social responsibility, CSR, which is a term that we all should know about, because almost everything that we see around us, when we start realizing or when we start learning about CSR, we realize that it is all part of CSR activities of businesses only. And some of the CSR initiatives by the companies are also talked about in the unit 4. So as it is, in this video, we will understand the concept of business ethics, the need for business ethics, what is corporate social responsibility, what are the benefits as well as what are the drivers of corporate social responsibility, CSR in short, as well as we will try to identify CSR initiatives by a few companies also which are based in India. So now, before we proceed any further, what do you understand as ethics? As I asked earlier, please let me know in the comments below. And what do you think is the difference between law and ethics? How is law different? Or when we what at what points will we say that somebody did something unlawful and somebody did something unethical? Okay, when does this happen? What are the various, or what is that differentiator which makes you use some law and what makes you use ethics when describing? Okay, I hope you understood what is the ask from you guys. If you guys can note down in your comment section, pause this video, take 1 or 2 minutes and write down something. It will be helpful not just for you but also for the other classmates, right, in Anu's classroom obviously. So I hope to see your thoughts on this in the comment section below. So now let us anyway start this session by understanding the sources of ethics. So starting from the day we were born, we can say that we are constantly being groomed into an ethical framework of the society that we are part of. Right from our schooling days, when we were in school, our schooling focused on ethics to be the core of our development itself, right? So this again is complemented with all the learning that we get from our parents, family members, as well as our society. So the belief or the faith in religion we follow also makes us to comply with certain restrictions as per our religious beliefs, and sometimes with those beliefs we may even be willing to accept some unsolicited behaviors also in the society. Okay, yeah, that particular person belongs to that particular religion, so that is their belief, that is their ethics also, we are fine. So religion also becomes a source of ethics. Similarly, all the customs, social norms, societal norms, traditions, standards, all these things get passed on to the next generation and becomes a part and parcel of the ethics that we feel are right. People like say Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, Subhash Chandra Bose, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Bhagat Singh, all these people, various people, multitudes of them have different philosophical perspectives, right? And all of them also, or such teachings also will govern or modulate a form of ethical conduct of people who are learning from them, who take them as role models or inspirations. So their ethics becomes our ethics too, right? So all these things are sources of ethics. Even the legal system, the code of conduct. So code of conduct, again, the law, legal system, law represents again somewhat of a rough estimate of our ethical standards of a society as a whole. So if you take any country's law, the law is shaped by the ethics of the people in general of the nation. What is unlawful and what is lawful, not entirely I'm saying, but at least a part of it, the law, something that is termed lawful and unlawful, also reflects the what you can say, the ethical principles of the nation as a whole even. Like for example, say if we hoard something essential, okay, at the time of shortage, some essential commodity, let's say potatoes or onions, if there is a shortage and somebody hoards it, it is not, it is unlawful. Why is it unlawful? Also because it is unethical. Hey, how can you do that, man? We are all starving here and you're hoarding it. It feels so wrong, right? It is unethical to do and also unlawful too, right? So it is, why is it unlawful? Hey, why can't somebody store whatever they have produced in their market? And like, if it is their own field, they have produced it, why can't they store? Actually, it should not be unlawful, right? If it is their produce and they are storing it, it should not be unlawful. But you see the entire population around you, your entire neighborhood is suffering because they are not having that particular thing with them, and you're hoarding it, is so unethical that finally it has also become unlawful. Correct. So society plays a very crucial role in framing the code of conduct for ethics. And when it comes to companies, they are not working in some isolated environment in Mars away from all the societal influences, right? Companies also have society in them, whether they like it or not. It is a place where people from various cultures and belief systems, they come together and work for a common objective and make use of a framework of operating policies which direct the decision making from an ethical perspective. So this framework actually indicates the ethical decision making in matters pertaining to, say, customer complaint handling, stakeholders, employee, vendor, hiring, all those things. And besides, at the organizational level, ethics are also framed for a particular industry level, irrespective of the number of companies being served by that particular industry. And these principles are what is called as the code of conduct within the industry or company or even the profession. Like for example, doctors, they take an oath, that is their code of conduct. Similarly, teachers, they are supposed to adhere to a particular code of conduct, no matter which school or tuition center or university or college they are teaching, right? So there are certain things that we expect, we have come to expect, and that also is a part of ethics. And those things are normally called as the code of conduct. So I hope you guys got an idea of all these six different sources of ethics. There are many more, but these are the six that are being taught to us in the MMPC 3 course, unit 4 material. So at least this we should know. All right. So why does corporate ethics matter so much to business? Why does it? Yes, we said already that companies also work alongside society. Companies hire people, those employees come from the society, they deal with customers who are part of the society, fine. But why does this corporate ethics matter to business? Ethics matter. Why? Because ethical conduct is deemed the right conduct. It basically means that the businesses try to avoid risks and gain reputation by acting in an ethical manner. If the company doesn't act ethically, it feels so wrong, right? And people start getting a kind of hatred towards that company, and people might even go to an extent of boycotting that firm, especially if they have another choice. And not many companies in the world today are pure monopolies either, correct? So, a good ethics process will give an organization the best chance that is possible for finding out about potential problems also very early on, so that they can be dealt with before they become a disaster. So, there is also a, what you can say, a market advantage that can be gained from ethical reputation. So to list out a few, we can say ethics is important to business, so because it helps them understand the reasons behind, say, increasing influences of corporates in society, helps in ensuring that no harm is done to the society because of their business, to meet ethical expectations of the society more effectively, to enable the companies to identify employee and customer concerns at an early stage, improve the quality of a firm's relationship with its key stakeholders. So these are but a very few, what you can say, pointers saying why corporate ethics matter so much to businesses. So the organizations, they practice ethics. Why? Because it helps enhance their goodwill and reputation for being fair, honest, and integral, both at the business and the corporate level. So what happened? It will fortify their image, strengthen their image. Like for example, you take the Tata brand. When you see the word Tata, you automatically, what you can say, link that word to multiple ethical standards or values that are upheld by the Tata group, right? Ratan Tata. So their ethical conduct also gets, what you can say, mirrored, or you think, you believe that will also be there for these companies too. But do you think every company in the Tata under the Tata brand is equally having 100% adherence to those ethical principles? If you think so, let me break it to you. It is not like that. Okay. But just by hearing the word Tata, we automatically feel that yes, it is there. Many companies, I would say, I don't want to create a controversy or something, but this is what I personally have observed. Many companies, if you just remove that Tata name from them, those companies by themselves have, I would say, very less ethical standards. But many companies are definitely holding by because of the name Tata. That is a fact, actually. Yeah. So organizations, they expect that the employees at all levels carry that particular legacy of identifying with this ethics with utmost care. And therefore ethics, you can say, provides a framework within which the organization can make ethical investments also. So a few of the advantages that a corporate gains by being ethical is that it becomes preferred by prospective employees also. That okay, yeah, see, I want to be associated with so and so brand or so and so company. That is my dream company. Why does it happen? Like, there was a time when I was small, young, naive, stupid, where I actually wanted to pursue a career in animation. So I had dream a company, like I wanted to work for Pixar or I wanted to work for DreamWorks. But unfortunately, at that point of time, due to lack of knowledge on the courses that are available for pursuing such things, I didn't know it. Internet was just, upcoming only. So there was very few information about the courses in India for such particular things. And unfortunately or fortunately, I went and took B.Tech, which was like the safe zone, right? Yeah, but still, yes, I really regret. After that only, I was able to know. Like, once we came back from to India, we settled down. Once I started going to college only, maybe like 1 or 2 years into college only, I realized or I found out about the colleges that were there now, which had animation and things like that being taught. But then you guys might be thinking, why not drop out and join, right? It is not that simple. I don't come from a family that is that rich, and my dad put in a lot uh, to get me through college. So yeah, that was my passion. That was something I really liked or I wanted to do. But B.Tech is where I joined, and whatever I am today is because of that only. No regrets there, but yeah, this was a dream unfulfilled. So, and so that what I was saying is that I had dream companies there. Why did I want to work with them? Because of the work or because of the image that they were putting out to the world, right? Because of the work that they were churning out from their labs. So ethics plays such a role. Even now in India also, you guys yourself might be having your thoughts on you want to work for Honeywell or you want to work for so and so company. You would have your dream companies. Why do you choose them? If they were totally unethical companies, would you choose them? The answer could be mixed, right? But yes, if it is a good ethical company which is known for their ethics, which is highly regarded, which is famous and popular, then definitely you would want to work with them. By the time you join only, you will know what are the inside politics and all, but still, from to the outside, it is like that. So how do they maintain this image is through these activities, CSR activities, the ethical aspect of it, which we will discuss more and more in as the video progresses, right? So when the organization being ethical gets preference by prospective employees, what will happen? The company itself can create a very quality talent pool, and with quality talent pool, you get more skilled laborers, means you will get more heights, you will reach more heights. So it is worth an investment in ethics, right? And less number of employees will leave the organization. That is, you will have a lower attrition rate. Many people would just stay with you because of the ethical value that you are holding by. Then there will be less number of employee strike or labor unrest. Corporate goodwill will be there, which enables the bargaining power of employers, which will result in cost reduction. Increase in production will be there, which will help the organization achieve economies of scale. That will lead to more and more revenue, profits, longer business life viability, and things like that. Okay, so ethics, but so you might have realized by now, ethics matters a lot to the business, right? So the next thing that we will talk about in relation to this ethics itself is about corporate governance and corporate sustainability. So what is corporate governance? Corporate governance is the system by which companies are directed and controlled, Board of directors are responsible for the governance of their companies. You might have heard of board of directors, right? The role of the stakeholders or the shareholders in governance is just to appoint the directors and the auditors and satisfy themselves with an appropriate governance structure in place. So that is the role of all the other shareholders. What actually how the organization will move forth will be decided by the board of directors. So at its essence, the term corporate sustainability actually refers to an approach to conduct business that creates a sustainable long-term shareholder, employee, consumer, societal value by pursuing responsible environmental, social, and economic or governance strategies. Corporate governance aims at fostering an efficient use of resources and cut shorting waste. It aims at resource allocation to those verticals in the business in order to bring in efficiencies in the production of goods and services, which can further generate interest of the shareholders. It chooses the best effective managers to manage scarce resources to derive optimal results, and it also enables managers to remain attentive and focused for enhanced performance continuously. It brings in investor attractiveness also and thereby increases the shareholder value also. It fosters an increased consumer satisfaction which aids in growing the market share besides the sales. It results in higher employee satisfaction, low turnover rate, lower HR cost, and furthermore, satisfied employees will bring in customer satisfaction too. It attracts vendors and brings an efficient inventory management system with reduced purchase or production cost. It brings down the marketing cost by developing good rapport with channel partners, distributors, and the like. So these are few pointers about corporate governance and corporate social responsibility. Coming to the another important aspect of this session, that is corporate social responsibility. So the CSR has actually become one of the standard business practices of our time. For companies, the overall aim of a CSR initiative or CSR activity is to have a positive impact on the society as a whole, while it engages in maximizing the creation of shared value for owners of the business, that is stakeholders, its employees, shareholders, and other people who are associated with this organization. So this CSR or corporate social responsibility, you can say, is a management concept whereby companies will integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and interactions with their stakeholders. So if you are to define corporate social responsibility, you can find n number of what you can say responses, but I have picked up one which is from Carroll. So according to Carroll, the social responsibility of business encompasses, or CSR of a company encompasses all the economic, legal, ethical, and discretionary expectations which a society has of organizations at a given point in time. So with the enactment of the section 135 of Companies Act in 2013, India has become the very first country to make CSR spending and disclosure mandatory for large companies with specified turnovers. And CSR, we should understand, it does not only consider the company's obligations to the society. Rather, it also includes the shareholders, employees, customers, along with even the community participation. So, CSR considers the company's obligation to society, its shareholders, employees, customers, and even the community within which they are operating. So, so far so good. So, is it that CSR only have advantages? Are there any disadvantages also? What are these advantages and disadvantages of CSR? Let us find out. So, when you're talking about the advantages of CSR, you can say that with CSR, citizens they expect that the companies will support them in societal upliftment. CSR activities can contribute in local regional development, and regularly supportive and conductive company behavior from the company will enable the company also to earn a goodwill and rapport, which will help in their image building. CSR initiatives like, say, rainwater harvesting or enabling educational, legal, and health infrastructure. Nowadays, most companies go after STEM initiatives, science, technology, STEM initiatives, They all create an enabling and supporting environment. Periodic update to the government will also be given by the company, which contributes towards reputation building. And there may be even social concerns which might have remained unaddressed by the government and social institutions, but because of the CSR activities of the companies working over there, it might have even got resolved through their initiatives. CSR initiatives may even promote the business within the vicinity of the companies whose products and services are required in fulfilling the CSR task. But it is not all bells and whistles, it's not all good things. There are a few disadvantages also of CSR. Like, for example, the cost incurred on the economic, social, and environmental initiatives which come under the CSR. It curtails the company of funds for development or deployment at other business verticals. So, what money we otherwise would have had for putting in our other investments, now we are having to use that money for our CSR activities. And the share of the profit to the shareholders will also be impacted because of the CSR activity. Why? Because it is a spending which otherwise could have become an investment and thereby more returns, right? So the shareholder profit gets impacted. And such social works also need the expertise of management personnel who will have to manage the time between priority and non-priority areas. And the time spent on CSR would or could have been utilized on other economic and developmental activities too. Since CSR is kind of like an added responsibility to businesses, the existing manpower will need to be trained and developed to serve societal expectations. And businesses that pursue CSR activities out of their given allocation of resources and capital for situations which demand prioritized business attention will, what you can say, will be redirecting the socially earmarked resources. That is, even the resources will be used for CSR initiatives. And if those resources are, let's say, rare resources, or which has a little bit, what you can say, limit to their availability, then a portion of that which otherwise could have been utilized for other productive aspects will go in the CSR way. So that is again a few of the disadvantages of CSR. So it is definitely according to how the company makes use of CSR initiative, how they create the CSR initiatives and all, that we can decide whether its advantages will overweigh its disadvantages or no. Very poor planning or control of CSR initiatives are going to go the wrong way rather than the right way for the businesses as well. Okay, so with all the CSR activities, how do these businesses actually benefit? So one thing is for sure, that businesses these days can no longer limit their focus to profit maximization and just be satisfied by creating employment and paying their taxes. That is, those days are long gone. They are also required to address the needs of other stakeholders like their creditors, employees, shareholders, consumers, government, public also. So companies these days are more vulnerable to consumer boycotts and campaigns, and the companies actually need to be socially accountable to the communities among whom they operate. So today's corporate actually understands that the license to operate in any particular area, it is not just given as a piece of paper by the government, but also the communities should give them that license to operate within or among them. Then only they can, what you can say, operate without any glitches or without any issues. Otherwise, if you don't have the community acceptance or the a license to operate from the community, which is not a written paper or anything like that, but rather from the, what you can say, from the behavior of the community that you have set your industry in, that only you can know. If you are not in good terms with the community where you are operating, then but for sure that every day you go into the office, you will see a few placards, right? So a strong CSR program will provide the companies with the license to operate and to maintain the trust of the local community. CSR interventions which help the employees to participate will also give them a sense of belongingness to the company. Good CSR initiatives can attract employees to the company and give them the incentive to remain motivated and committed to the company. There are instances wherein, as a part of the CSR activities, communities have been incorporated into the supply chain to enhance their livelihood, like vocal for local, collecting from the local people rather than importing if it is possible. And for that initiative, maybe at times even the companies are willing to give, spend a little bit more just to make sure that the community within which they operate do not make any problems. Right? So such initiatives also therefore help in increasing the income and ensuring the companies with a steady and secure supply chain also. And when the companies position themselves as responsible corporate citizens through their CSR activities, it will definitely create goodwill and a positive image, which will help them in enhancing their brand image in the market. There was a survey actually, which was conducted by KPMG, called as the Corporate Responsibility Reporting. It was done in 2011, and they found out that the top 10 motivators that drive corporations to engage in CSR for competitive reasons are the economic considerations, ethical considerations, innovation and learning, employee motivation, risk management or risk reduction, access to capital or increased shareholder value, reputation or the brand image, market positioning, share value, strengthen supplier relationship, cost saving, such things. So that was the unit 4 of MMPC 3. And if you go and check that unit 4 of MMPC 3, you can find a lot of examples of various CSR activities that are done by many Indian companies like HUL, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Infosys, Vedanta and all. So if you do get a chance, I would recommend you guys take a look at it. It is just hardly a 5-minute read, I can say. It will help you in your term and examination. If at all a question comes wherein you are asked about CSR activities with examples, you can pick up at least one or two examples and quote them. Okay, so I hope that this session helped you in understanding about business ethics and CSR, corporate social responsibility. So until I see you all in the next session, thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.